Does it ever feel like the fans of a movie could have made a better ending than the actual director? Weapons is amazing, so no disrespect of course, but the perfect allegory was right there. But what if the message of the movie was actually what the fans wanted it to be about? Specifically, what if we tweaked the plot holes of this film and literally rewrite the story to where the school shooter message actually made sense, as if the director intended it? Let's give this movie a take two. Alright, let's talk plot holes, and there's a few, so spoilers obviously if you've not seen this movie yet. A month after 17 kids vanish into thin air, how is it that no detective or cop thought to follow their pathway? Archer pulls up 2 ring camera data points and figures it out, but the police, who had the exact same data, somehow couldn't? With all the CCTV cameras in a small town, it's hard to believe 17 humans can disappear without a trace. And the town's collective incompetence does not stop there.
Did nobody question the suspicious aunt who just happens to appear right when Alex's entire class goes missing? Nobody checks in on Alex's parents, who, by the way, are literally stabbed in the face. No coworkers, no friends, no relatives noticed they were gone. Also, how is it that Alex is buying enough canned food to feed 21 people every single day and no one bats an eye? Oh, and remember those canines the script explicitly mentions? Twice? How did the dogs not smell 17 kids in the basement? Moving them temporarily shouldn't have erased the scent. And Aunt Gladys herself, why does she go from obsessively covering her tracks to straight up sloppy? She murders Marcus's partner, leaves a bowl of her own blood in his house, and doesn't seem to care she'd been instantly implicated. And the final one, her motives don't line up either. She consumes lives in order to stay young, but we never actually see her enjoying that youth. Not once. A scene of her dancing or relishing her restored vitality could have made her drive clearer. Instead, she's just creepy all the time. Horror movies often rely on a character or two making dumb choices, but in Weapons, it feels like an entire town had to suspend common sense. Our alternate ending addresses this while staying true to the story's themes. But you tell us in the comments, does it fix the issues or create new ones? In Act 1. In the original, we see things from Miss Gandy and Archer Graff's perspectives. At 2:17 in the morning, 17 kids run out of their homes and vanish. Only Alex remains from Miss Gandy's classroom. She's blamed by her community, drowning her shame in alcohol, yet still showing courage in the face of harassment. Meanwhile, Archer, struggling in his marriage, lashes out, vandalizing Miss Gandy's truck even as visions of guns haunt his dreams. In our version, the premise stays mostly the same. The tweaks are 2 subtle hints. First, Miss Gandy casually mentions to Principal Marcus that she hopes Alex isn't being bullied in his new class. Second, after Archer dreams of the gun, he remembers he's got a couple AK-47s locked in a safe in his basement. Both of these small details pay off later. In Act 2. In the original Act 2, we follow Paul, a cop with messy personal baggage, and Principal Marcus. Paul breaks both his sobriety and commitment to his fiancée, the chief of the police department's daughter. While on shift, he notices James, a man breaking into the window of an unoccupied building and proceeds to chase him. Paul wrongfully assaults James in a moment of rage after being poked by a needle from James's pocket. The act is caught on his dashcam, which he uses his connection to the police chief to avoid immediate retribution, assuming he lies low. His fiancée finds out about his cheating and he catches James again near the police station where they embark on yet another chase. Meanwhile, Principal Marcus indulges in sweets with his partner as he gets a call from Justine Gandy requesting he look into Alex's home life. He obliges, meeting Aunt Gladys in his office. Shortly later at home with his partner, Aunt Gladys is at his front door, enters, ensures he has not called authorities on her or Alex, and then proceeds to magic Marcus into killing his partner and literally running across town to kill Justine Gandy. Paul's story remains the same in our rewrite. His fall into corruption and bad decisions is essential, but Marcus's perspective gets revised. Instead of Gladys simply visiting him, she points out the neglected stack of reports under his candy bowl. Later, she confronts him with reports from Miss Gandy documenting Alex's bullying and neglect. Reports Marcus buried. She flips through them, exposing his failures, while Marcus deflects with excuses about capacity and budget. His inaction is revealed as systemic negligence, not just oversight. Disappointed, Gladys casts her spell, sending Marcus on a bloody sprint, not after Miss Gandy this time, but after Archer. In Act 3, Now we get to James's perspective. He breaks into Alex's house expecting an easy score, but instead finds Alex's parents in a trance and the missing children in the basement. Before he can act, Officer Paul drags him back into Gladys's control. James becomes another one of her weapons. When Archer and Justine arrive to confront the horror, James turns on them, and Justine has no choice but to kill him. Alex's point of view reframes everything. The youngest survivor has been carrying the heaviest burden of all, living under Aunt Gladys's roof while watching her rituals play out in blood, hair, and branches. Forced to collect tokens from his classmates and keep his incapacitated parents alive, Alex becomes both witness and accomplice to her twisted magic. But in the final moments, he learns to turn her power against her. Using her own methods, his blood, her hair, her branches, he severs the ritual and breaks her control over the missing children. Freed from their trance, the children swarm Gladys and kill her, ending her reign of terror. Yet, even this victory is far from neat. Alex's parents remain broken beyond repair, and the other children return to their families changed. Some silent, some scarred. The film closes on Alex's exile to live with another aunt, a haunting reminder that survival doesn't always mean salvation. This is where the new version deepens the story. A month before the disappearances, Alex is bullied relentlessly, ignored by his fluttering, distracted parents. Gladys enters the picture, seemingly sympathetic. She convinces him to invite his classmates over for a party in the basement. The night ends in humiliation when Matthew shoves Alex's face into a cake, leaving a humiliated Alex laughed at by his peers. Aunt Gladys tells the children to leave immediately and tells Alex to never enter the basement again. That night, Alex dreams of a gun with 217 illuminating from it. The next morning, Alex strolls into class, only to find that it is only he and Miss Gandy. He looks around in confusion, but is relieved at the absence of Matthew and his peers. Aunt Gladys asks him if he misses his classmates, and each time, Alex responds, "Nope." As time proceeds, he finally answers, "Well, they weren't my friends or anything, but I guess I hope they're at least okay." Gladys lets out a sigh of relief and hugs him close to her chest. "Except Matthew," he adds, and Gladys's eyes shoot wide open. The climax. As all the main characters converge on Gladys's house, they confront her, blaming her for the horrors. Archer slams her against the wall, demanding Matthew's whereabouts, and Alex flashes back to being bullied by Matthew himself. Gladys, bloodied, admits only Alex can open the basement. With her last breath, she tells him, "You can save them, but if you don't..." But she dies before ever finishing the warning. Nervous but determined, Alex opens the door to the basement. Inside, his classmates stand motionless, Matthew among them. When Alex touches Matthew, he's pulled into a vision of his future self. A teenager, bruised, broken, and preparing for a school shooting. His older self loads a gun, tucks it into a backpack with nothing but a Bible, and checks the clock. 2:17. Teenage Alex pushes a piece of paper and heads to the back of the basement. As teenage Alex shuffles around, child Alex reads the paper. "Thank you, Aunt Gladys, for being the only person who really saw me. I'm sorry, but I couldn't take it anymore." Just as young Alex finishes reading, teenage Alex reappears, even more determined than before. Child Alex screams at him to stop. "Spare them! Even if they don't deserve it, be the better one!" And with that, the vision collapses. The kids wake from their trance. In the final act, the film ends not with a massacre, but with restoration. The children return to their homes, confused but alive. Alex, however, is forever changed, sent to live with another relative, carrying the weight of what might have been. Some families move away, others stay, but all of the children survive to see their graduation day. The meaning of the original film is about dependency and weaponization. Every character is dependent on something: alcohol, food, drugs, power, even dark magic, and they harm others through that dependency. Aunt Gladys embodies this most literally, consuming lives to prolong her own. Alex is forced to grow up too soon, carrying responsibilities that crush him. The alternate ending reframes weapons as a story about the roots of school shootings in America. Justine Gandy represents the role and responsibility teachers have in ensuring the safety of students. In her new position, she symbolizes how even if teachers do everything right, without the correct systems in place, it is not enough. Archer represents parents who demonstrate aggression to their children that encourages their children to become bullies that could cause fundamental and at times deadly consequences. Officer Paul represents the flawed justice system that protects and justifies violence. Principal Marcus represents the administrators that have the duty to, yet fail to, protect their students in light of the actions they could have taken to stop and intervene in bullying. James represents the poor example some adults in society publicly set for our youth through stealing, intoxication, and selfishness. Lastly, Alex and his savior, Aunt Gladys, represents the individual responsibility we all have, regardless of the pain we've suffered at the hands of others, to not cause the same pain, if not worse pain, onto them too. He represents the choice we all ultimately have. Each character becomes a metaphor. Teachers who care but lack systematic support, parents whose aggression turns children into bullies, cops who protect violent systems, administrators who ignore red flags, adults who model destructive behavior, and Alex, guided by Aunt Gladys, represents the ultimate choice: to perpetuate harm or to stop it. The message is stark. What happens in childhood echoes into adulthood. Bullying, mental health neglect, the availability of guns, parental absence, poor school systems, unchecked violence, all of it adds up. The alternate ending makes clear that adults have a duty to protect children, to interrupt cycles of harm before they escalate. That responsibility belongs not just to teachers or parents, but to all of us. That is our duty, especially without the magical foresight to make the right choice. So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear how you would rewrite the film. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more deep dives into movies with endings that leave us talking.